That came out fast. Sometimes it takes a long time to cycle through the getting started bit, but this time it happened really fast and caught me off guard. Not that there's a guard around here. I don't know where that phrase comes from. Almost every phrase is kind of dumb when you think about it, but that, that's one of them is being caught off guard. Um, okay, well, it's time to start putting the last bits together on the car, I guess. If you might recall, on Wednesday, I managed to screw up the window by cracking it, but I did attach them. Okay, and then they're sticking. That's an important thing, is they're not falling out. Okay, I'm testing that by tapping them lightly. So it's time to put the interior of the car into the body of the car. But first, install the rear view mirror, because that's something that would be really easy to forget. Um, I'm doing this inside a box, okay, because the rear view mirror is this little bit here, tiny little bit that's really even hard to pick up. See it? There it is. Close this up again. And the thing is with this, I have to somehow get this into the little hole here. Okay, I haven't tested this yet. See if it even fits in the little hole. I might have to use tweezers. Okay, and that would be, yeah, can't reach it otherwise. And the thing is, these chrome plated parts are slippery. Okay, so if I grab it like this, yeah, and drop it, I could drop it. If I drop it inside the car body, that's not too bad. But if I dropped it outside the car body, it could fall on the floor and disappear forever. Well, this is going to be fun, isn't it? Um, okay, yeah. So the little prong fits in there. Let's see, the driver is on the left side, so I want it actually, yeah, just like that, kind of turns slightly toward the driver, facing in. Okay. Well, I'm going to use contact cement, and if I can get this to stick kind of reliably, then I can, well, try this way. If I can get this to kind of stick reliably and not be all tilted around and bent and stuff, then I can put the interior of the car in. That was on the left side, yeah. So I'm going to use the contact cement. I'm going to be using this for all of the assembly at this point, because it grabs even if it's painted and all the surfaces are painted. And it gives me, it's very forgiving. Okay. It does grip pretty well, usually. Not always, but it usually grips pretty well. And I've talked about this many times before. Like, somebody who's very skilled, meaning that like when they're trying to put this review in, they get it exactly the right place and the right orientation right away. Okay. Like a triple right. Um, I don't do that. I don't get it in the right place at the right orientation right away. And so if I were to use CA glue and it and I just happened to breathe on it a little bit and it cured, I couldn't do anything. It would just be stuck the way it was stuck. This almost got lost. How did that happen? So this gives me a little bit of time to get things set up in the right place, in the right orientation, and it doesn't have to be right away. Okay, and the not right away is the important part for me because yeah, I mean it just is. I can't get it. I just can't. So this stuff is actually supposed to sit there for like several minutes. Well, there was a little bit of a stringiness there, and it stuck to the paper towel. And that could have been, if there hadn't been in a box, it would have been a really bad disaster because it would be somewhere down here, down under the workbench or on the workbench or someplace where I couldn't find it. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen today? You know, I mean, I was being really careful on Wednesday and managed to just say, I need to be really careful so that this doesn't happen. And guess what? That's what happened because there was just a moment when I wasn't being careful. That's what happens at my age is just everything requires constant, just constant vigilance and attention because any little distraction can lead to a situation, of a problem. Um, yeah, these are other little bits that need to go on there. Tiny little bits of backup lights and signal lights and um, headlight bezels, okay, and bumpers and grills. Those get attached to the front and the backs of the car after the inside and the bottom pan are attached. But first, we need to get the rear view mirror on. I want to turn slightly toward the driver's side, okay, because that's how you would do it. Yeah, the chrome plating on that kind of sucks, actually. Okay, well, it's not falling off, so that's something. Okay, they're not falling off. And it seems to be oriented pretty much like it should be. Yeah, I mean that looks okay. You can't. I don't know. It's really hard. There, see it? There's the rear view mirror there, right there, stuck to the windshield, not falling off. Kind of looking like it should. Okay, so the next part is actually a much larger piece. I was going to do it in this tray so that I didn't have the parts flopping around. Okay, the next thing is the interior. This is the interior of the car. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I need to fix something back here. I've got these brushes lined up on this corrugated cardboard because it was a nice place for them, nice, separated and all. And I put things on top of it, and well, yeah. Okay. So assuming that the rearview mirror stays attached and doesn't fall off, this the interior of the car, which I think came out really well. I know it's really if you're seeing what I'm seeing, everything just looks black with some little silver embellishments because the camera seems to make everything kind of darker. I, I'm really not sure quite exactly what you're seeing, but this came out okay. I got the door handles and the window cranks and the trim around the glove compartment, including the little lock for the glove compartment, the radio buttons. The steering wheel, I think, came out really quite well. But yeah, so there's that. This whole thing goes in here, and I've practiced this before. This bit rests on top of that, so that's pretty straightforward. Um, why isn't it resting though? What is it bumping into? It's supposed to be. It's supposed to sit right on there. Is the windshield in the way now? Hmm. Yeah, right. Seriously, it is. The windshield, the curve of the windshield is actually keeping this from going where it's supposed to be. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And then the rear attaches back here. And okay, so what I'm trying to do is find the contact points. But this doesn't, huh, oh, seriously, this is so stupid. Okay, see the gap there? No, you can't because it's black on black. It's supposed to be like that. Those parts are supposed to touch each other. Okay, they're supposed to touch each other so that they can be cemented together like that. Okay, but if they are, is there enough flexibility? What happens if I don't? What happens if I don't close up the back? Hmm. Is there any other way to attach it though? See, this thing fit in here really quite well before the windshield was put in. Okay, but now the what's happening is the windshield is thick. It's like not thin at all. It's pretty thick plastic, and what it's doing is it's keeping this part right here, this front part, from making contact up here. And if this makes contact, then the back doesn't, and it doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but okay. So what I'm going to do is if I attach the back, how does the front end up looking? If I attach the back, the front doesn't make contact, but does it look okay? There's always something, isn't there? You know, you just say, oh, this is going to be really simple. This is going to be very simple. I just need to attach that point to that point, and it'll be done. But no, it's not, because it doesn't fit. Okay. So there's a couple of things I can do. One is I can do that. I can attach these contact, this surface here and this here. I can attach them so that they fit like they should. Okay, just like that, which is pretty close to how they should fit. Okay, and it looks okay from the inside. The back is sticking up about an eighth of an inch, and it's possible to there's enough give there that it's possible to attach the front, hold it down, and attach the back. There's a little flexibility there. Um, I'm going to have to, what I have to do. Now, the front part, it's really simple. I can tell where the adhesive needs to go. It just goes on that and that. Okay. The back, I need to know, where the adhesive goes. The back, this edge, but then I need to like mark here where that goes. Actually, what I'm thinking of doing is I could actually do this is I can put the adhesive in after that, after the front is maybe. Or I can get a pencil. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I'm gonna I'm going to first of all I'm gonna clean the inside of these windows. Because after I put the interior in, good. That's it. Mess up the rear view mirror while I'm at it. By just not being careful. I forgot about the rear view mirror as I was wiping the inside of the windshield and managed to screw it up. Okay, well, yeah, I guess that's about as clean as it's going to get. That's it. Bump it again. Bump it again. Keep bumping it until it breaks off and then loses its adhesion. Okay. Well, I'm going to put the adhesive on this and then I'm going to just see how it goes. I think the most important part is to get the front attached. Okay. Because that needs to be aligned. And then if it's then possible to get the rear attached, so that it's in contact and holding, um, then I'll do that. Yeah, just keep leaving it upside down like that. That's really important to do that, so that I can like break off the steering wheel or something. That would be the thing I would do. It's simple things like doing a really simple assembly that just somehow or other turns out not to be that simple. I don't know why. That is always the case. Come on. This, this is going to be a nothing is working day. Is it really? Okay. Well, since I'm right-handed, I can only do things in one direction. It is what it is. I want it right along this line that I drew. I want this, yeah, it's like right along the edge of the window thing there. No, no, good God. How did I get that on my finger? Seriously? Oh, man. I got contact cement on my finger and put it right in the middle of the front of the windshield. Oh, for God's sake, how did I even do that? Ah, I just ruined the car. I can't do this. Okay, I did. I destroyed the car. I did. I did that right there, right in front of everybody. I destroyed the car just as I was getting to the point where it was going to be done. There's only the slightest chance I can fix this. Just the slightest little bit of a chance I can fix this. I don't know. I got it on my finger somehow. Okay. Well, what I'm going to have to do is either this thing is going to not have windows. Okay. I mean, it just might not, or I'm going to have to buy another kit. You just saw a disaster. You just saw a disaster happen. Should have just used this in the first place. It seems to be coming off, but now the whole thing is clouded. Okay, there's a scar on it, but it's not too bad. I think it's I can do. I've done this before on a model. I mean, there's a little scar on the window now where the cement was. But mainly when I was trying to buff it out with the sandpaper instead of grabbing this right away because I wasn't thinking and I panicked, right? I just panicked. Is I've kind of scratched it. No, this stuff it's actually supposed to buff. Wow. Okay, that was how in the world did I do that? Where else did I touch it? Okay. Well, it's not going to get done today because I totally messed it up. Um, I did. I totally screwed it up. I got a little bit of contact cement somehow on my finger. I don't know how I managed to do that. And I didn't notice it. And I touched the windshield and it leaves a little scar, but it also got clouded because I was trying to sand it off um, with this buffing sandpaper, which should. So there's only one other thing I can possibly do. I don't even know if I've still got the stuff anymore. Um, what can I say? It's just incredible how I managed to do that. So instead of getting this finished today, which I could have done, I was getting really close to getting it finished today. Okay. Instead of that, I need to somehow try to fix the windshield, re-adhere it because I broke it off, stick it back on somehow. Okay. Um, and then I guess on Monday, if I can fix the windshield, if I can fix the windshield, then I'll do what I was going to do today. I have to be off screen. I'm going to let you continue to look at the disaster. Okay, while I try to find what I'm looking I was looking for jeweler's rouge. Okay? I don't know if you know what that is, but it's extremely fine um, powder. So, okay, this extremely fine powder that is used to polish jewelry. Okay, and what I was thinking is, and I had some, but I don't know where it is now. If I could find it, I could polish this. Okay, and not make it all scratched up like it is. I did find this. This is polish for rock tumbling, which is also supposed to do that. I'm going to see what it does. Doesn't seem to be doing exactly what I want. Okay, this is what I'm going to try this. Up here also. Um, I'm just going to try this. I mean, I can't make it much worse, I don't think. If nothing else, I mean, it might just end up looking cloudy. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I can then get some jeweler's rouge and polish it further, maybe? I'm not sure. Wow. This is what can I say? Just truly incredible. Truly unbelievable. I mean, what happened is in fact truly unbelievable. See, when it's wet, it looks okay. Um, but it's still clouded, right? Especially down here where it kind of uniformly clouded. At least it's uniform. Okay. I mean, it's the same all the way around. I wonder how bad it will look if I put it in like this. What do you think? You think it would look really bad? It could. It could look really bad. Yeah. I mean, it's not hideous. It's better than having a big blotch on it. Granted, there's a scar on it, just like there's a crack on the back. But it's not impossibly horrible. You know, say, what in the heck is this? What this is well, I put the contact cement on there, and that's also going to be a problem because it's going to sit there for a good long time. Okay, because I won't be able to do anything until this is put back in. If I can get it to the point where it's acceptable. So the cement I put on here, and on the back is now actually going to be a problem. And if I try to do this, oh yeah, I'm try to scrape it off a little bit. Well, I don't know. I mean, I might have right near the end here. I might have right near the end here totally destroyed the model. I might have. It's pretty impressive what happened. There's one other thing I can try. I know, and it's kind of a long shot. It might seem pretty silly. Is I have this stuff. It's actually the cement I use to hold it on. That it's like a clear coat. But what I really want to do is I want to get some, if I can get some jeweler's rouge, which I think is even finer than this. I can get this. I can get this less translucent. I keep thinking if I keep rubbing at this with a paper towel that why is this so out of focus? Is everything? Did that happen? When did that happen? There we are. I don't know. Okay. So how could things possibly go worse? Let's try to imagine that. Because if it's possible, there's still a chance. There's still a chance that it could happen. There's still a chance that that something could possibly still go worse than this. It's hard to imagine that. I mean, I didn't imagine this. I didn't imagine that somehow, I have no idea how I managed to get contact cement on my finger and managed to touch it to the windshield before I noticed it. And it's one of those things I was putting the contact cement here and here. How did I even touch it? I do not know. It's just amazing how that happened. Okay, I'm going to just let you continue to look at the disaster. Well, I look around, see if I can find that jeweler's. Because I know I had some. It's like a case. Two. So I'm just going to putz around here looking for it because if I find it, it might be a good thing. Very much. Looking for these. Now I find well, I hope you're enjoying contemplating the incredible disaster of a mess. Seriously disaster. It's something. It was so close to actually coming together, so close to being finished. I was thinking I would finish it today. I really did. I expected that, but I mean, just just beyond belief, really beyond belief what I did. I can't. I just have to shake my head over and over and go and sigh and be sad at what happened. Okay, I'm going to make one more trip over there while you're continuing to contemplate the disaster that I created and see if I can't find what I'm looking for. I did. I found it. Um, Rouge, and it's very hard at the moment. Okay, and humbly. So what what I need is just like a little bit of it. It's not going to make it worse. Okay, that's about all I can say. Is that it's probably not going to make it worse. I should say probably not going to make it worse. I shouldn't say it is going to not going to make it worse. I need to get a little bit of this, and I need to soften it. Put it in water. Okay, you can see some of it coming out there. Oh, geez. Okay, you didn't see that, but I almost knocked over. It's a glass jar filled with isopropyl alcohol, and I almost, in fact, just knocked it onto the floor. Um, yeah, when things start going like they're going, they just keep they just keep going. Okay, this is going to look kind of ugly, I think, because it's very bright red. Okay, it's a extremely fine abrasive, even more than the stuff I used before, and it's going to make everything red. And it might succeed in polishing it better than what has been on than the polish I used earlier. Maybe if I rotate this and do that, so it's very likely that this will not be any worse than it was. Okay, okay, it's pretty likely that it won't be any worse than it was. It is possible that it will actually be better. I'm not saying it will be better. I'm just saying that by doing this, there is a chance that it will look better than it did before I did this. Okay, I'm going to take, I don't need that dissolving in there anymore. I'm going to put it there and let it dry. So as you see, it's very, very red. It looks like everything's bleeding, doesn't it? I think that's appropriate. Is that it should look like it's bleeding because that's how it feels. But this is as fine and abrasive as, well, it probably isn't. There's probably something else that's finer, but this is as fine and abrasive as I have available to me. And if anything can make this look not hideous, I'm not even going for good anymore. I'm trying to get, like, if it if I can do anything to make it look not horrible, um, I'll give this a shot, right? Now I need to try to get it off. It'll take a fair amount of wiping down to get it off. And it's still kind of cloudy, but it's kind of tolerable. Okay, I mean, I was about to say something that would curse me. The curse of saying, "Oh, at least I haven't that." Okay, I was about to say, "At least I haven't something." Um, Oh, I have to say, it's not perfectly clear, but I think it's salvageable. And I'm gonna just since I've got forever now, and there's nothing I can do other than polish this and then reinstall it and wait until Monday. Um, yeah, before I make a mess of something, I'm gonna put this back in the box of not being attached. Okay, and we'll deal with the other issues later. But I think it's getting to be about as good as it's going to get. Which at this point, if it's not a totally unacceptable disaster, is I'd say okay. I, I feel like it was a minor miracle finding this stuff. It was stuck on a bookshelf way over there, way in the back of everything else. And I just noticed that there was a little gap. Okay, maybe something's hidden back there. And lo and behold, something was hidden back there, and that was this. Okay, so what happened today, if you're just sort of checking in, is that the windows were installed, and there was just a minor problem with one of them because I messed it up by cracking it. After I said I need to be really careful, this is brittle, because I could crack it, and then 5 minutes later I did, right? But I got the front and rear windows installed, and they held on. I mean, they did hold on until now when I intentionally took this one out. Um, and then I was putting contact cement on. I figured out how to do that to get the rest of the body attached, the inside of the car. And while I was doing that, I somehow I got contact cement on my finger, and I touched the windshield and just scarred it a little bit. It looks like, but also made just a huge mess. And now I am now back to where I was on Wednesday. Just a total regression back to that point. It's what can I say? Just went back, went backward in like almost a whole week. And so instead of essentially finishing the car today, which I I really could have if this hadn't happened. By now, okay, by now in the stream, the interior of the car would be set, and I would be figuring out how to put the bottom on. Okay, the very bottom, be fiddling around with that, trying to get it to fit. Um, and then I would be looking forward to anticipating um, attaching the bumpers and the little bits of exterior that are left to be put on, like the turn signals and the backup lights. But what I have now is a scarred and slightly clouded windshield, and it's as good as it's going to get, um, given the polish that I have. It is not. If you didn't know that it was supposed to not look like this, you probably wouldn't. I don't. Yeah, I can't lie to myself. It's messed up. Okay, if you compare it to the rear window, you can see it's cloudy. is slightly cloudy. Um, but it's okay, but it's tolerable. It's not like, oh, look, you've got a gigantic flaw, like a gigantic blot on your windshield, which is what I had. It looked like I hit. He was driving down the highway and hit a super huge bug and splatted the windshield. Now it just looks like there's a flaw in the windshield because there is. And I suppose I could polish that out eventually, but no. Okay. So going back to where I was on Wednesday, hopefully I'll be able to do this without making a disaster of this as well. Hopefully this stuff will adhere to itself. This is special canopy cement. It dries clear. And its most endearing feature is that it doesn't, or at least it's not supposed to, dissolve the clear plastic. So now I'm going to take my unfortunately clouded, distorted windshield and suck it up and put it back in. And then wait until next week. And hope it sticks. I wish I could see things anymore. Okay, yeah, the pins are. It is pinned to where it should be. Okay, now that needs to sit. It just needs to sit until Monday. Um, about 11:30. I don't know what to do with the rest of the time here. It. I mean, I could. This would be taking a chance, right? What I could do is I can reinstall the rear view mirror. I can assume that this is going to stick. If I assumed it would stick, I actually could put the interior on. But if it doesn't stick, okay, if for some reason it doesn't stick, then wow, yeah, trying to fix that would be like beyond being able to fix it. But I can. I'm going to put the rear view mirror in because if it sticks, fine. If it doesn't stick, well, it all has to be redone anyway. And now I'm going to take this stuff that that I used before that I destroyed the model with. Try it again. What did I get? There's a little invisible string. I'm getting it everywhere. Okay. I need to wipe my fingers. Okay, so the windshield, I got it fixed as well as I can with materials that I had. And I think it certainly is better than it was when I started the process of trying to fix it. Because, wow, that was getting right near the end here with the clear parts. And I screwed up the back window by cracking it. And I screwed up the front window by touching it with somehow managed to touch it with contact cement. Just unbelievable. It is. I mean, if you were to say what what could go wrong, how could this possibly be a disaster at this point? Everything's been coming together actually pretty well. The model is looking good. What could possibly happen to like make it a disaster? I would bet that that we wouldn't be able to imagine what actually happened. I got jeweler's rouge all over my fingers. It looks like I got bloody fingers, doesn't it? Yeah, great, good. Now I got contact cement on the paper towel here that I was using to protect the model from that kind of problem. Okay, now I could take a chance. I could do this. I could take a chance that this windshield will actually stay in. I mean, it seems to be sticking. Okay, I could take that chance, and I could go ahead and put the interior in. Okay, things have gone badly enough. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I am. I'm going to I want to put the interior in without waiting for the windshield to set. And if it doesn't work, I'm just going to pry this out. Just pull it out, and you know, there, that that contact cement actually should still be okay. It's supposed to last like 3 hours. You're supposed to be able to let it sit for about 3 hours, um, and it would still grab. And I'm going to assume that that's happening on the back. Okay. So this might be a really dumb thing to do, but how could it possibly be worse than what I've already done? That's the way I'm looking at it. Is how could I possibly mess it up more than I already have today? And we together can say I can think of a lot of ways that you could mess it up even more than you already have today, and you probably will. And I'll say, yeah, you're right. I probably will. Um, as I'm putting this in, I probably could. I'll put my fingers on the windshield and just shove it in. I'll just push it in by not paying attention to where I'm putting my fingers. That's one way I could mess it up. Let's begin to imagine all the stuff I could possibly do. One thing I can do while I'm waiting for the contact cement to set up is I'm actually going to get rid of some of the stuff here that is sort of dangerous. And I'm going to wash my hands. So you sit here and watch the contact cement dry a little bit, and I'll be right back. I will be. I'll be back. Probably. I'll probably be back. Well, I did come back. I don't know what will come of having come back, whether it'll be okay or not. But in a few minutes, I'm going to attempt to put the interior of the car into the body of the car, which is what I was attempting to do um, like 45 minutes ago and just created a disaster. But here's the lesson. This is actually something that you as a modeler might be interested in knowing is what I did to make it look kind of okay. So I touched the windshield with contact cement, okay, which dissolved the plastic a little bit and marred it. It was just a mess. And what I should have done is not what I did. Okay. What I did is I tried to rub it off with sandpaper. I should have just taken the isopropyl alcohol and wiped it off as much as I could right away. because what I ended up doing is just spreading it around and kind of making it worse. So the first step is to do no harm. I did harm. Okay. I failed in the first step. I did harm. But what I should have done is to use like isopropyl alcohol, which is not going to dissolve the plastic, and wipe off as much as you can, touching as little as the rest of the surface as possible. That's what I should have done, but I didn't. Okay. The next thing is I tried to buff it out with this polishing sandpaper I have, which actually kind of, did buff it out some. But then I found what I was looking for, jeweler's rouge, which is an incredibly fine abrasive that is used for polishing jewelry. And I was able to do that to buff it out so that it shows scratches. If you look at it, you can see that there's scratches on it. I probably could have buffed it yet even more. Um, but it doesn't look horrible. I mean, what it doesn't have is what it had when I started, which is a great big blot of contact cement marring the entire, I mean, just a huge blob of it just was horrible. That's all I can say. It was just horrible. Okay, so this is supposed to go here and attach there. And it did, it's stuck. Okay. And then this is supposed to stick back here. And it did. I mean, it didn't fall out. Look, it looks, I mean, other than the windshield being totally messed up, which it is, okay, which is unfortunate. The interior of the car ends up looking it looks good. But I fixed the windshield as much as I possibly could, given the situation that I was in. And if I keep touching it like that, I'm going to break it. Okay, so this is adhering. Okay, um, and it looks okay. So the next thing, I don't know if this is going to work or not. The last time I tried this, it just didn't go on. Okay, this is the engine is supposed to go in the front here, right? This whole thing is supposed to fit into the body, but the body curves, and so it doesn't. You kind of stretch it out without breaking it. Um, I probably shouldn't be doing this today, given the way everything else has been going. That's the front. Now the back has to go in here like this. This is where I could potentially just break the entire side. Having said that, it's actually possible that that could happen. Somehow or other, shock absorbers are supposed to be attached. Oh, I see how they're supposed to go in. That might actually be possible to do that. Okay, these go like that, and now the front needs to go in like this. And it snaps into place. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I did it. I did what I shouldn't do. Okay. I pushed in the rear window. I mean, just as I was doing this. So, what I need to do now, this is not going to be easy, is I need to get adhesive in there. Wow. Okay. You say, what else could possibly go wrong? Ah, what can go wrong is I was able to make something else go wrong. I did it. I made it go wrong. Okay, I'm going to try doing this. Okay, what I'm going to try to do is I need a much longer piece. I'm going to try to get this cement, at least enough of it. Wow. Always, you really just have to be watching where your fingers go all the time, um, because they're going to go where you don't want them. That's not helping. Okay, if that stays, it should. The bottom of the car, I'm not going to try to cement it in. It's just going to be impossible. I need to make sure I don't have anything on my fingers. So I don't know if I can do this now or not. These these things, the shock absorbers, are supposed to go here, and they're actually visible. Okay, okay. I haven't knocked out the windshield yet. I don't know why it isn't fitting. No, there's no gap there. Okay, I'm going to see which way are these shocks supposed to go in. Okay, the long pointy end goes. I'm going to see if it is even possible to do this. Okay, well, it just stays there. Let's see if the other one will stay there. Maybe they'll fall out. Maybe they'll stay put. I don't know. It just sort of snapped into place. This one doesn't. It's not quite tight enough. This black on black doesn't help, does it? No, it doesn't. There. That, okay. So they're not moving. They didn't fall out. This is where it should be. That's okay. It's just done. It's where it should be. The rear window has not fallen out. The front one has not fallen out. It's clouded, but there it is. The rear view mirror is still in place. Um, the bottom is in place. It's not going to come out. It's just stuck. So the things to be done yet, the wheels need to be put on, but also there's a whole lot of chrome and stuff that's supposed to go on the front and the back of these things. So maybe I'm just going to press my luck and continue. Wow, I'm knocking. I'm really knocking things around. This is really something here. Um, okay. Um, on the back, I'm going to start with the back because there's fewer parts that go on the back. There's backup lights and a bumper. I've test fit this bumper a couple of times. It doesn't fit. Excuse me. I'm going to test fit it again. And it has these little positioning tabs that are supposed to line up with these little holes here. Like that. Okay, that's not too bad. That kind of fits. Um, I'm actually just going to use the contact cement and attach it on those points, and hopefully it'll hold. It's just getting them lined up that's hard. Wow. Okay, I've got potential disaster here. I got that cement there, the windshield cement. I'm actually going to put the contact cement on the backup light sockets as well, because those go on. This stuff, it says like you can wait 3 hours and it'll still hold, and that's kind of true. I'm going to put a little bit above and below it because there's a chance that it might just grip there. I'm going to do that here too. I'm going to put it on the whole little bumper bit there. In the hope of getting a little bit more contact surface for the adhesive when it comes time to stick it on. Now the other thing are the backup lights. These are tiny little things. Um, white, painted white. Backup lights are painted white, and the turn signals are painted amber. And I want to put these are not. These have to be oriented correctly when they're installed. I'm not quite sure how that will go. I do know that it's sticking to my finger. Stop sticking to my finger. Just stick to the toothpick. Fine. Well, at the rate at which I'm just bumping into things and knocking things over, I can tell you that everything I'm doing is dangerous at this point. Okay. I can tell you very sincerely that the odds of something more happening that would be a major oops. It's not a vanishingly small possibility. We'll just put it that way. Make sure my fingers are sort of clean. Okay, so this rear bumper, there. Okay, that fit like that. That's how it's supposed to fit. Something clicked. I'm not happy when I hear things click. In this particular case, what clicked is that the rear is that there was a separation here. Oh, seriously. When the bottom went in, it is separated apart. here. There's now a, see how it's attached here? It's not attached here. Because this is not in correctly. No, don't touch. Oh, don't touch that. I almost busted the windshield, the back window again. Okay, this isn't in all the way. And because it's not in all the way, it is on this side, but it's not on this side. Because it's not in all the way, it pushed that out. So the bumper is okay where it is, but I'm going to have to repair that after I somehow fix this. But pretty much what I need to do is, I didn't notice this before, but it's pretty obvious, is that this needs to go in deeper. And I need to be very careful not to break the, there we go. Now that goes back where it should. And it's not perfect. There's a little mar there. I can put a little bit of blue paint on that, I think. But yeah, I'm glad I noticed that now. Now I need to get these on. Not going in as far as they need to go. Okay, I need to do is make that hole bigger. I tested these things before, but apparently there's a failure. Huh? No, don't come off. Okay. Well, I need to do the cement bit again because I opened up that hole a little bit. Well, no, before I do that, let me make sure that it works actually. Tiny pieces going in tiny places. That one did go in the hole. This one is no, the whole. Oh, I see. Okay, the whole thing is loose now. Well, as long as no one pulls on it, that should be okay. Okay, what I'm going to do, I can make the hole bigger. I can make that thing smaller. All I'm doing is seeing a blur, okay, as I'm trying to get this put into the hole. And there's like a little, it's like a little bulge of foam on the end, the very, very end of it. It actually is. It's like a little protrusion almost. Like the end of the prong is thicker than the rest of it. And I'm going to try again. A little bit more contact cement in the hole. Cap it up so I don't knock it over and spill it. And try once again the impossible task of getting this tiny little prong in that tiny little hole where I can't see it. There. Kind of weird looking, but they're working. This, as long as I don't pull on it, should be okay. So the last bit on the back, I'm actually going to do this is, I don't know what I knocked over, what I did, is the license plate. Okay. So the license plate is a decal, and it's supposed to go here. Okay. But the decal is too big and it would just dangle. And license plates don't bend. Okay, they don't bend. They they're flat. Let me show it to you. See, it says Shelby. So if I were to just put a decal on here, it would be it just wouldn't work. So what I did was I took a little piece of plastic like this, right? And look, I'm going to put the decal on this, and then attach the decal there, like that. Um, I'm going to do that by putting a paper towel there, putting the drill away, putting the car. What is that? Did I get, is that jeweler's rouge, I hope? What did I get on the white stripe here? No, good. No, the window came off again. Why do I keep touching things like that? Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the decal on the license plate tag. Okay. I think I can do that without a disaster. I'm not sure. I will try. What? Don't even think about it. Don't even think about what could possibly go wrong. Because if it could possibly go wrong, it'll definitely go wrong. Hi, who? Oh, you missed one disaster after the other, after the other, after the other. In fact, it could have been an irretrievably horrible disaster. It came really close. This is not good. I I was putting contact cement on on the car so that I could assemble it, right? And I managed to get it on my finger and put it right in the middle of the windshield and turned it into a total disaster. I sort of fixed it, but kind of. Okay, let me do a flip here, and then I'll go back to the decal. There's a buildup of cement on the can here that's keeping it from closing all the way. This is where I'm going to ruin my scissors. And probably hurt myself at the same time. let me clean this because I'm in the middle of cleaning it, and then I'll do a flip, and then I'll put the license plate decal on the license plate holder. This is pretty tough stuff. I don't think it's going here. Okay, that's better. Flip. I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna flip something small. I'm gonna flip this paint or no paint. Just, I'm probably gonna knock that aside and break it or something. But here, paint, paint. Maybe I'll get a 5-1 today. No paint, no paint. It's 2-2, so 4-2 is the most asymmetric it can be. No paint, no paint. 4-2, no paint. I made a real mess of the work surface here. I got toothpicks with cement on it. I got a drill bit I'm going to lose. I got tweezers, not where they're supposed to be. I hope that piece of plastic is the right size. You know, I measured it a couple of times, but I'm not sure if it's a little big. That's okay, since I can trim the edges. But yeah, I think that'll work okay. So the way have learned to do decals, I learned this by actually reading about it. Is instead of soaking them in the water, is let them sit on a very wet paper towel, and it takes a little bit longer for them to slide off. Okay, this way, but they don't come off in a pond of water floating around, breaking apart, um, potentially getting lost or broken. And I've had this has actually worked. It's one of the few things that I've done that I shouldn't say it now because it'll happen. If I say, "Oh, this has worked," this time it won't. Just count on it, right? Just plan on that being the case. So what you're watching here is you're watching water saturate the paper backing, loosening, hopefully at some point, the decal that's sitting on the paper and allowing it to slide off onto the license plate holder that I fabricated from a piece of surplus sprue. Getting it wet on the front really doesn't help. I know better than that. So that it can hang on the back of the car without so it looks like a license plate, as opposed to a decal half hanging, dangling off the end. There we go. So I'm going to do it this way. This is what I've done before. This has actually worked. Is if I grab, it's sliding off. So if I grab the paper, that, get it in place, hold it down like with a toothpick, and I slide the paper out from underneath it. And then if I get it wet, I can slide it around on there so that it lines up. Why isn't it sliding? If I didn't want it to slide, it would be sliding all over the place. Seriously, seriously, I'm gonna have this not slide, not line up on the plastic. It should just be floating on there. Really? Oh, come on. I've never had this happen before. And the danger here is actually tearing the decal. Water. Sort of float it on. There. Okay. Now what I want to do is do that, and then over here, and then I'm just gonna let it set for a bit before I attach it, because I don't want to. Now that I've got it where I want it, I don't want to mess it up. But if you can see, I know it's shiny as all get out, isn't it? Um, Stop. Why are my fingers sticking to it? I don't know. There's a tiny little bit there. Here, let me zoom in. Zoom in. Is the license plate, and it says Shelby on it. And that goes, if I dare touch this anymore, that goes right there. No, not on my hand. It attaches under here, under the bumper. Okay, how am I doing? I still got a lot of time left. I suppose I can let that set. I'm just going to let this sit up here. I don't need these paintbrushes. Those are very much in the way. Okay, I'm going to put the paintbrushes out of the way. Put the tweezers over here. Put these. This is trash, and this is trash. Put those over there, and this over. This is potential danger here. It's trash. I'm just going to take this it out. And what I'm planning to do is work on the front of the car. I know I wasn't really being clear about that. But I'm moving a bunch of stuff out of the way, and just like the bumper, you know, and the backup lights and stuff went on the back. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on the front here, and by that I mean a bunch of stuff. There's there's a grill. The grill goes here like this, except the other way around. It goes right here like that. Seems to fit, kind of. I just have to be so careful touching things because every time I touch something, it seems to break it. Okay, so the grill goes there like that. I think I'm going to put that one on. I'm going to put that on next. Yeah, why not? Why not do that next? There's a bumper that goes on the front, and then there's bezels for the headlights. There are two layers. There's a chrome part that goes on, and then there's a clear part that goes over that. And then the decal, the Shelby decal that I put there, goes here, but there's space for it, so it goes right there without having to create. Um, okay, I lost my shock absorber somewhere. There it is. It fell out because the part it didn't snap in quite right. This side is in. This side didn't go in right. As I was happy because it was working, and then it stopped working. See, it needs to go down like that. There's just this little. Okay, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to do this, is I'm going to put a little bit of contact cement in between there and squeeze it down. Now that I found out what the issue is, I think I can do that. I think I can do that okay without, ugh, I think I can do that okay without a disaster. I'm not sure. I'm just saying if I can, it will be better. I'm going to have to touch that up. Got it on the surface and it's dissolving the paint a little bit. That's just black paint. I can I can do that after the cement dries. Yeah, it's not gripping. Why isn't it gripping? Okay, well, I made a mess of it already, so what more? What more bad can happen? Okay, I'm just going to let that dry for a while because sometimes it doesn't grip right away. There wasn't any reason why it shouldn't have grabbed. Let's see. I wonder if I should just take a little break right now. Take a couple of minutes. What I'm thinking of doing is taking a couple of minutes while that contact cement is setting there before attempting to do anything else, and who knows what'll happen, right? Um, and talk about Dyson Dungeons. I'm going to do that. I'm going to put this aside. There it is. It is aside now. And I'm going to get some dungeon tiles out because I haven't done this in a while. I've been traveling and been away. So here, this is the history of this stream, is that it wasn't about building a car and just having like one disaster after the other, apparently. Truly amazing. Um, it or models in general, because I think this is the sixth or seventh one I built. This has been going on for a long time. Now that I think about it, look back at it. But this all started because we have a Dungeons and Dragons show. Dyson Dungeons is all about the Dungeons and Dragons show, and it's a really, really good show. And if you haven't watched it, you should. It streams with the live chat on Twitch on Sundays at 2, but you can catch all of the old episodes on YouTube, and you just need to go ahead and do that. Okay, just catch them on YouTube because they're really good. We have like way over 100 episodes out there now. The storyline, we're kind of coming to a conclusion, I think, over the course of the rest of this year. We're in some sort of time magic trap with this time wizard who is self-taught and is violating all sorts of customs and morals around time and trying to kill us. It's just, well, yeah. Anyway, watch the show. But this stream started because we make our own dungeon tiles on the 3D printer and then paint them. And our DM said, well, if you're going to be painting them, you might as well stream the painting because you're going to be painting them anyway. So why not? It doesn't cost anything extra except we had some surplus equipment. And so that's what's here with some surplus ring camera and microphone and a computer that's running the OBS thing that makes it all happen. But yes, painting and streaming the painting. It was about dungeon tiles. So we produced these dungeon tiles and then primed them and then paint them a long time ago on the stream. And these are pretty amazing because underneath here are magnets, little ball magnets in the corners, and they stick to each other. Okay, and one can use them and rearrange them in all sorts of amazing ways. And this is one of the 3 or 4 kinds that we have. This is rough stone. We have cut stone. We have inside corners, outside corners. And if you watch the scroll underneath me, you can see some of the little, not only the minifigs, but the 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 assemblages that we have made with these. Okay, I like the ones that look like wood best. These are a little more work because you prime them and base coat them and then wash them in this smoky ink wash to make it look like wood and then paint the stucco panels like that. But they work the same way. Then they have working doors. Okay, that's a cool feature too. They work like that. Um, these tiles have been improved significantly since the first ones were made. The very first ones, the walls and the floors were separate, and we had to epoxy them together. And then Alexis figured out how to print the wall and the floor as one solid piece. And so now they're all nice right angles and they don't fall apart. Okay. And then she's even gone so far as to figure out with the new printer that stops partway along and you can put the magnets in and stuff like that with the top here. Um, these are pin hinged. You can sort of see the pin there a little bit. That it, she's figured out how to do this so that um, these holes don't show anymore. And I would show that to you, but it's black on black, and so you can't see the detail. But yeah, that's how this stream started, was painting the dungeon tiles and the scatter, like those chests and the minifigs. Spent a lot of time painting minifigs. And while I'm waiting for that contact cement to kind of set up a little bit and maybe grip, I can show you some minifigs right now. These are kind of the last ones I painted a while ago. These I haven't painted minifigs in a long time. It's been kind of fun to do that. Like there's an orc that got all dressed up fancy because this collection it is a group called the Divorcees. So they were recently divorced and they're all responding to their situation in a different way. This guy dyed his hair, bleached his hair out, and well, I wouldn't dress like this, but there you go. We got partying work. We got cleric. She decided to go all red and pink, colorful. I think I had fun painting her, getting her face right, okay, and the hair and everything. A lot of little detail. Managed to get a lot of little detail, like the gold edging and the pink edging, and a little sigil-y kind of thing on the shield. The halfling just said, "Well, I'm going warrior." Okay, got a big warrior sword and you know, streak their hair a little bit. Nice armor, kind of, you know, red. But the uh, the Elf Archer just went beige. Okay, just went to various shades of beige, all except for his quiver. He kept his original quiver, which was elf green kind of thing, but everything else that way. So yeah, occasionally on this stream, minifigs get painted, and very rarely nowadays dungeon tiles get painted. Um, but that's how this stream started. And when I didn't have any minifigs or dungeon tiles to paint, I ended up working on models like this car. It's just not. Did I not get it in there right? I don't know what else I can do to get contact cement in there. It should just grab. I mean, just like grab hold of itself. There isn't much tension on it. I really do not understand why it's not sticking. And this is, it's not critical, but it would be really good if it just stuck. Yeah, it's there. And the adhesive is there. Maybe I need to. I hate to do that. And somehow put. I don't want to put a rubber band around it. Something else will break. Excess got all over the outside of it, and that just makes it messy. I'm going to retouch that up with some black paint later. Fortunately, it's just black on. Oh, it's coming off actually. What I need is just a gentle clamp, really gentle little clamp on there to hold it until the cement sticks. No, it's going to hold well enough. It's not falling apart. So I'm just going to leave it now because actually I looked at the other side and that side doesn't clamp together either. It's just I want it to hold well enough so that the shock absorber doesn't fall off, and it seems to be doing that. So I'm going to just say this is as good as it's going to get, and I'm okay with it. So I'm going to I still have time left. I am going to attach the grill. Just little bits I'm going to put here and here. There's nothing on the bottom. The attachment points are here and here. So yeah, that's what Dyson Dungeons is all about. Is our Dungeons and Dragons show? Watch it; it's really cool. In the meantime, I am doing my best to just have one disaster after the other on this car as I make an effort to get it close to being finished. I should have finished it today, but I disasterated the windshield, and then I broke out the rear window, and then I have actually the front and the rear pans are detached in several places. They snap back into place, kind of, which is good enough as long as nobody pokes at it. It should be okay. I need to do some black paint touch up here where I messed up on the paint. That'll just be flat black, and then this gets attached. Have this tendency to just touch touching adhesive. There. Now the grill is there, and it's not falling off. I guess I could try to. Well, maybe I can. I'll see if these headlight bezels actually fit. I haven't done these before. I'm really not sure, actually, which side is supposed to be out. Oh, like this. It has to go like this because there's a clear part that goes over it. Like that. Okay, that kind of makes sense. What is? Why is that there? Okay. There's a piece of sprue on the headlight thing that never came off. So I'm going to have to mess around with that a little bit. Probably one on the other one too. The turn signals are even smaller than the backup lights were. That's not helpful. So the way these are supposed to go is that they're supposed to fit in here like that, and they do. I mean, that's a good thing. So I'm going to put those on next. This is one of those things, or I should say, this should be straightforward. Just and no, this is another opportunity. Another opportunity. Every time I touch something, there is an opportunity for a disaster. And um, so far, I've been able to just have like one disaster after the other. It's been quite a process of attempting of recovery from each one. And so far, it's not. It it could be worse. Right. I mean, that's what can I say? When the best thing you can say about how things are going is, "Oh, it could be worse." That's that's encouraging. Yeah, it's almost done. It's actually really close to being finished today. I probably won't finish it till Monday. But it's getting really close to the point of being like done. I have to say, I'm going to be glad to be done with this. This was a difficult model. I've got stuff on my fingers. Yes, this has been a very difficult model, and a large part of it has just been just not being careful. I mean, attempting to be careful, and I should just say failing to be careful, not being careful, but just failing to be careful. And I've been doing a really fine job of. I don't know how I got black on that. That's not good. That came from somewhere where it shouldn't have. Let me get these headlight bits on. Um, there's this bar. Probably put this on. This goes across. No, I'm going to wait on that because this is the kind of thing. This little bar. This is the kind of thing that could like be really easily broken. I could easily break this by bumping, like pushing on it. I just have to kind of remember to do it. It's actually a important part of the car. And then somehow, oh yeah, side view mirror goes. There's supposed to be like a little slot into which the side view mirror is attached. Okay. and there just isn't. So I'm going to have to just sort of stuck it on somehow. Um, so yeah, I get put these on without getting cement all over them. I don't know. I don't know why. Why is it wobbling? That one's on fine. That one doesn't wobble. Weebles wobble, and apparently so do these. Okay, clear plastic parts. Clear plastic goes on there, and I'm going to use the clear plastic thing for that. Um, the bumper, the bumper, and the turn signals. The turn signals go way over here on the edges, and if it's at all like the backup lights, where they're not going to fit. That's how the bumper goes on. I guess I could. I guess I could attach the bumper. I've got 15 minutes left. Hmm. Maybe I should just not. Maybe I should just not do that. Don't take a chance that I somehow keep thinking it should be higher up, and it should go there. I guess no. I guess it just rests there, like that. That's where the little pins want to go. These parts fit about as well as a 1965 General Motors. I mean Ford. What am I saying? They fit about. They're fitting accurately, poorly. It goes there. Oh, there we go. That's where it goes, which seems way too high. But that's where it wants to go. That's where those little pins go. It'll go on the bottom. It's supposed to go in these little holes. Oh, there they are. Okay. Duh. They're not where I thought they were. They're there. Okay, so that's going to fit on there poorly, but it does. It goes on there. Okay, and then the signals go there and there, and clear part goes there. It's kind of tempting to stick this on now, but I'm not going to. Where is? I think what I'm going to do though is because I'm going to forget about this otherwise. Is I need to do the black touch up there, and so I'm going to do the black touch up paint there, and then I'm going to just stop for the day. Okay. Um, I've got this part and this part and these parts and a decal and the hood. Can't forget the hood. But those are the parts. There aren't too many parts left. And one of them is a radiator hose that somehow gets attached that spot on the radiator and then up someplace on the engine. I'm not sure where. Yeah, the radiator fan is messed up. Maybe I can. I'm going to just see this. I have no idea where this is supposed to go and how. I'm just curious about. Oh, I better close this. If I knock it over, I'll lose the turn signals. So it attaches there up here, like that, and then goes there maybe. I guess it's supposed to go there. Okay, well, I can do that. I don't know where else it could attach on that side other than. Oh, I see. Okay, it goes here. There's a there's a little ledge there that it attaches to there. Okay. Okay, this will be a little bit of a challenge, but now I see how it's supposed to go. So it attaches in this little pin there, and then it sets on top of this right there like that. So that's actually going to be that assembly is not going to be too horribly hard. I mean, compared to everything else, it's not going to be any worse. Okay, so on Monday, I've got little bits to put on. I've got the radiator hose. I've got the turn signals, the clear parts that go on the front of the headlights, the radiator hose. I said that already. The side view mirror, the bumper, and this little bar that goes across. And before I wrap up for today, I'm going to do a little painting. I am. I'm going to get a little bitty brush, one of my little bitty brushes, and get some flat black paint. Good. Just keep knocking stuff around. That's always good. I think I used this. And I need to just be careful. The part I need to be most careful about is getting the brush to the work surface without touching it to other things. Okay, there. Cap back on. Yeah. So the parts I've got left, there aren't a lot of them, but who knows how long it'll take. Okay. Is I need to put the radiator hose in, the turn signals, the clear bezels for the headlights, the bumper, the roll bar, and the I can't forget this. I almost did, and it shouldn't be sitting out here. The rear license plate, and then the decal, and the decal for the front license plate. There's the rear license plate. And I would have been done by now if I hadn't had like 3 disasters. One really, really serious disaster on the windshield. Um, and then busting out the windshield and busting out the back window and then not getting the bottom in right and having to get that in and put it back together again. Um, I'm just really surprised. I don't know. I'm not surprised. I have been amazed at how I've been able to create a disaster in ways that shouldn't have been possible. I just have done that really well today. On Monday, depending on how many disasters of what caliber, you know, whether there's serious disasters or minor disasters or just, you know, trivial disasters, depending on how many disasters there are of what quantity and quality, I should be able to finish this, give it to Nicole because she loves the GT350 blue with a white stripe. Okay. Who doesn't? It's really pretty. I mean, the real car is pretty. This is just not, it's okay. It's not terrific. I don't know what's going on with the paint here. Um, so I'll give this to her and say, here's your car. And then I have to decide what to do. I'll just leave that out there. I have to decide whether to continue the stream with another model or whether to just kind of like suspend it, or maybe I'll just say, I don't know. I'm not sure if maybe I'm done. Um, it's not like I don't have more to build. I've got probably 3 dozen models just that accumulated over the years after I retired. Just a whole lot of them. I mean, some of them are pretty amazing. Like there's a cutaway version of a B-29, which would be really an amazing. It would be a beautiful model. It'd be a lot of fun, but it'd be too big to display anywhere. Um, I've got a U-505 submarine model that would be fairly easy and to do. I can spray paint it. It's 2 colors of gray, one on the bottom of the hull and one on the whole top. It's just everything's just either dark gray or light gray. That would be and it's not too big. It's not a huge model. It's only like a foot long. Okay, so that could be stuck somewhere. I've got a F-100, which is a beautiful plane with these massive decals to make it look like one of the Thunderbirds. I should actually show this to you. Not that I'm going to actually build it, but I mean, look at how they painted these things back in the day. Okay, just all red, white, and blue stars and things all over the place, and that's all done with decals. But these are really old decals. They're really old, really gigantic decals. Look at that. Okay. And if they work, you know, if they still work, if they come off and don't fall apart, which they might, because I've had that happen with old decals, they just disintegrated. Um, things this large, when they're that big, there's a lot of room for disintegration. Um, but if they worked, then it would look pretty cool. Otherwise, it's just painted silver, and I spray painted that before, and it works okay. So I don't know. This might be but there's a lot of detailed parts in it. This is like a big, long project. I don't know if I'm ready to take another model. Here, there. It's as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. It's you paint it light gray and then tape it, and then paint it dark gray. I don't know. It might be better to paint it dark and tape the bottom, and then paint the light over it. But this would be pretty straightforward. to build. This is a famous submarine because it was captured during World War II. So I don't know, maybe it's not extremely valuable. They're still selling it. They sell it at Museum of Science and Industry, um, where the submarine is kept. But that, if I continue the stream after the car is done, then this is probably what I would build next. I would just need to go and find the right colors, kind of the right colors of gray. They don't have to be exactly these colors, but close to it. So I don't know. I'll decide. I guess I'll decide on Monday. Um, I should be able to finish this on Monday. Like I said, I've got a bumper and a bar and a license plate and some little bits that just need to be attached. Radiator hose, some other things. It shouldn't take terribly long. I shouldn't say that. I don't know how long it'll take because things just keep going, you know, badly. Things keep going badly, and if it keeps going badly, I don't know. I really don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how it'll go. We'll find out. Find out on Monday. Come back on Monday at more or less 10 o'clock, and I'm going to finish the car and just be done with it. It'll be done. For better or worse, it'll look like it looks. And it was shaping up to be almost a solid A minus, but I messed up a couple of things, and now it's in the B category. I don't know if it's even a B plus. We'll see how it looks at the end. Um, See if I can get the hood to fit. At least I figured out how to put the radiator hose on. There's that. Um, yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back on Monday. I really hope to finish this model then make a decision about what, if anything, I'll do after this. So if you have an opinion about whether or if I will do anything after this, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you then. Take care. I just smashed. Yeah, I will continue to just bump into things, drop things, go, oh, I can't believe that happened things. It's just going to keep being like that. So something to look forward to. See you on Monday for another comedy of errors. Bye.